What really attracts women in today's generation? Is it the perfect body? A luxury car? High income? Maybe a sharp jawline or the right haircut? We hear it all the time: money, status, looks. But is that really the full picture? Let me take you beyond the surface. Because what truly matters to most women today goes deeper than appearance, deeper than your wallet, and way deeper than a six-pack. This is about understanding psychology, behavior, energy, and connection. Today, we're breaking down what girls really look for in a man, not based on opinions, but grounded in real psychological insight. Whether you're trying to be a better partner, attract a meaningful relationship, or just understand modern dating better, you're in the right place. So let's start with this: attraction isn't just about biology. It's about behavior. And in this video, we'll explore both. Let's begin. First up, confidence. Yes, it's a classic, but not in the way most people think. We're not talking about cockiness. Not the loud, arrogant, look-at-me kind of confidence. We're talking about grounded confidence. The kind where a man knows who he is. He doesn't need to impress everyone. He's secure in himself. He doesn't chase, he attracts. Psychologically, this kind of confidence signals safety. It says, I can handle life. And for many women, that's incredibly attractive. Now, confidence isn't about having all the answers. It's about being calm in uncertainty. It's about presence. And that leads us to the second trait: emotional intelligence. We're in an era where emotional intelligence is no longer optional, it's essential. Today's women are more emotionally aware, more self-aware, and more empowered than ever before. And they're not just attracted to looks or success, they're drawn to how a man handles his emotions. How he listens. How he communicates. How he responds under stress. Emotional intelligence includes empathy. The ability to recognize someone else's emotional state and respond to it with care. It's being aware of your own triggers, and choosing not to explode or shut down. It's not about being soft, it's about being mature. And maturity is magnetic. Now here's something surprising: purpose is more attractive than you might think. When a man is passionate about something, whether it's his work, a hobby, a goal, it shows he's driven. That sense of direction? That's attractive. Purpose signals leadership. A sense of identity. Drive. Focus. It says, I'm not just drifting through life, I'm building something. That energy is contagious. And it draws people in. Because deep down, we're all looking for someone who's growing. Someone we can grow with. If you have a clear direction, or you're working to find it, you're already ahead of most people. Let's talk about integrity. This one is non-negotiable. Integrity means your words match your actions. You do what you say you'll do. It's being honest. Consistent. Trustworthy. Now, in a world full of filters, fakes, and fast attention spans, integrity stands out like gold. Many women are done with games. They want real. And being real means showing up consistently, especially when no one is watching. When a man has integrity, he becomes dependable. Safe. Grounded. That's the foundation of any meaningful connection. Up next, humor. You don't need to be a stand-up comedian. But a sense of humor? It's powerful. Humor relieves tension. It creates instant connection. It says you don't take life too seriously. And laughter is associated with comfort, familiarity, and warmth. In fact, studies show that women consistently rate men with a sense of humor as more attractive, even over physical traits. Why? Because humor shows intelligence. It shows awareness. And it shows you know how to handle awkward moments with grace. So if you can laugh with someone, really laugh, that's chemistry. Now let's shift to communication. Communication isn't just about talking, it's about connection. Can you express your thoughts clearly? Can you listen without interrupting? Can you be honest about your needs, while respecting theirs? These things are underrated, but they matter more than flashy gestures. Modern relationships thrive on communication. Not just romance, but real, deep conversation. Being able to talk about feelings, about life, about the hard stuff, that's what builds bonds. A man who can say, "Here's how I feel, and here's what I need," without blame or fear. That's rare, and it's valuable. Another major factor, emotional safety. Women want to feel emotionally safe around you. That means they don't have to walk on eggshells. They can be vulnerable. Be themselves. Speak freely. Emotional safety is created when a man listens without judging. When he responds with calm instead of anger. When he makes space for another person's emotions, even if he doesn't fully understand them. When a woman feels emotionally safe, she lets her guard down. That's where real connection begins. Let's get into self-respect. Here's the truth, you teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. If you have boundaries, if you respect your time, your energy, and your values, others will too. Self-respect isn't arrogance. It's knowing your worth and not settling for less than what aligns with your values. Many women are drawn to men who have standards, not for others, but for themselves. It shows self-awareness. It shows strength. And it creates mutual respect. Now, here's a myth to bust: attraction isn't just physical. Yes, initial attraction often starts with looks. But long-term attraction? That's psychological. A man who is curious, who reads, who thinks deeply, he becomes more attractive over time. Because the mind matters. Women are drawn to men who stimulate their minds. Who challenge them, not in a confrontational way, but in a thoughtful, intentional way. Someone who brings new ideas, who asks questions, who inspires growth. That kind of energy builds emotional connection. And that's where real attraction grows. Let's talk vulnerability. Most people think vulnerability is weakness. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Vulnerability is courage. It's being real. Being human. Owning your story, even the parts you're not proud of. When a man can say, "Yeah, I've struggled. Here's what I learned," that shows strength, not weakness. Because it creates intimacy. It breaks walls. It shows you're not pretending to be perfect. You're showing up as you are. And that kind of authenticity? That's what builds trust, and deeper attraction. Here's a big one: emotional availability. Some guys have all the traits on paper, but they're closed off. Numb. Detached. And for today's generation of women, especially those who are emotionally intelligent, that's a deal-breaker. If you're emotionally unavailable, if you're afraid to open up, afraid of intimacy, afraid of being seen, then you're not fully present in the relationship. Emotional availability is the ability to connect, to share, to feel. It doesn't mean being dramatic. It means being real. If you're afraid to open up, ask yourself, what am I protecting? What story am I holding on to? Healing that? That's how you become a partner, not just a placeholder. Let's talk about presence. Presence is powerful. When you're fully in the moment, listening, engaged, focused, it creates magnetic energy. Most people today are distracted. Scrolling. Zoned out. Not really there. But when you sit across from someone, make eye contact, listen deeply, and respond with intention, you stand out. Being fully present in a conversation is more attractive than any pickup line. It makes the other person feel seen. Heard. Important. Presence builds emotional intimacy. And emotional intimacy builds lasting attraction. let's take a breath. Because all this might sound overwhelming. But here's the truth. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. But if you're actively working on yourself, your emotional intelligence, your presence, your purpose, you're already doing more than most. And that work? It shows. It shows in how you walk. How you speak. How you treat people. That's the kind of energy today's women are drawn to. Not perfection. But growth. Want to go deeper? Stick around. In the next segment, we'll break down the 5 major attraction archetypes, and how women subconsciously respond to each. We'll also look at common mistakes men make, and how to fix them using simple mindset shifts. But first, let me ask you something. What trait do you think is most underrated in men today? Confidence? Kindness? Vulnerability? Humor? Leave your answer in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take.